Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Turn red, as if in embarrassment or shame. Having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. A speculator flush with cash. Sudden brief sensation of heat, associated with menopause and some mental disorders. Sudden reddening of the face, as from embarrassment or guilt or shame or modesty. Irrigate with water from a sluice. A rosy color, especially in the cheeks, taken as a sign of good health. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A sudden rapid flow, as of water. He heard the flush of a toilet. Rinse, clean, or empty with a liquid. Flush the wound with antibiotics. Make level or straight. The swift release of a store of effective force. A poker hand with all 5 cards in the same suit. Cause to flow or flood with or as if with water. Flush the meadows. Flow freely. The garbage flushed down the river. Glow or cause to glow with warm color or light. The sky flushed with rosy splendor. Of a surface exactly even with an adjoining one, forming the same plane. A door flush with the wall. Turn red, as if in embarrassment or shame. The girl blushed when a young man whistled as she walked by. Sudden reddening of the face, as from embarrassment or guilt or shame or modesty. A rosy color, especially in the cheeks, taken as a sign of good health. Become rosy or reddish. Her cheeks blushed in the cold winter air. Turn red, as if in embarrassment or shame. Characterized by violence or bloodshed. Rites of crimson deeds and barbaric days. Of a color at the end of the color spectrum, next to orange, resembling the color of blood or cherries or tomatoes or rubies. Especially of the face, reddened or suffused with or as if with blood from emotion or exertion. Crimson with fury. A deep and vivid red color. Turn red, as if in embarrassment or shame. Make red. The setting sun reddened the sky. Turn red or redder. The sky reddened. Having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. An effluent banker. A branch that flows into the main stream. An effluent person. A person who is financially well off. The so-called emerging effluents. Having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. Not merely rich but loaded. Filled with a great quantity. A tray loaded with dishes. Very drunk. Of statements or questions, charged with associative significance and often meant to mislead or influence. A loaded question. Of weapons, charged with ammunition. A loaded gun. Having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. Moneyed aristocrats. Based on or arising from the possession of money or wealth. Moneyed interests. Having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. A substantial family. Providing abundant nourishment. Ate a substantial breakfast. Of good quality and condition, solidly built. Several substantial timber buildings. Of or relating to the real nature or essential elements of something. A substantial argument. Having substance or capable of being treated as fact, not imaginary. The substantial world. Of considerable importance, size, or worth. Won by a substantial margin. Having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. Wealthy corporations. Sudden brief sensation of heat, associated with menopause and some mental disorders. Conduit that carries a rapid flow of water controlled by a sluice gate. Irrigate with water from a sluice. Sluice the earth. Pour as if from a sluice. An aggressive tide sluiced across the barrier reef. Draw through a sluice. Sluice water. Transport in or send down a sluice. Sluice logs. Produce or yield flowers. The cherry tree bloomed. The organic process of bearing flowers. You will stop all bloom if you let the flowers go to seed. The best time of youth. A rosy color, especially in the cheeks, taken as a sign of good health. Reproductive organ of angiosperm plants, especially one having showy or colorful parts. A powdery deposit on a surface. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A healthy reddish complexion. A rosy color, especially in the cheeks, taken as a sign of good health. A dusty pink color. Develop or come to a promising stage. Youth blossomed into maturity. Produce or yield flowers. Reproductive organ of angiosperm plants, especially one having showy or colorful parts. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. The time and process of budding and unfolding of blossoms. A powdery deposit on a surface. Any red eruption of the skin. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. Produce or yield flowers. Reproductive organ of angiosperm plants, especially one having showy or colorful parts. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A plant cultivated for its blooms or blossoms. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. The highest point, of something. At the peak of the pyramid. A V shape. The most extreme possible amount or value. Voltage peak. To reach the highest point. Attain maximum intensity, activity. That wild, speculative spirit peaked in 1929. The top or extreme point of something, usually a mountain or hill. The view from the peak was magnificent. A brim that projects to the front to shade the eyes. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. The peak of perfection. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. Being at the best stage of development. Our manhood's prime vigor. The time of maturity when power and vigor are greatest. Cover with a primer. Apply a primer to. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A natural number that has exactly two distinct natural number divisors, one in itself. First in rank or degree. The Prime Minister. Of superior grade. Prime beef. Fill with priming liquid. Prime a car engine. Insert a primer into a gun, mine, or charge, preparatory to detonation or firing. Prime a cannon. Of or relating to or being an integer that cannot be factored into other integers. Prime number. The second canonical hour, about 6 a.m. Used of the first or originating agent. Prime mover. Issue in a jet. Come out in a jet, stream or spring forth. Gush forth in a sudden stream or jet. Water gushed forth. An unrestrained expression of emotion. A sudden rapid flow, as of water. There was a little gush of blood. Praise enthusiastically. A natural flow of groundwater. A large flow. The rapid and continuous delivery of linguistic communication, spoken or written. A sudden rapid flow, as of water. She attacked him with an outpouring of words. The pouring forth of a fluid. An act of removing by cleansing, ridding of sediment or other undesired elements. The act of clearing yourself, or another, from some stigma or charge. Rinse, clean, or empty with a liquid. Purge the old gas tank. Eject the contents of the stomach through the mouth. He purged continuously. Make pure or free from sin or guilt. An abrupt or sudden removal of a person or group from an organization or place. He died in a purge by Stalin. Clear of a charge. Excrete or evacuate someone's bowels or body. The doctor decided that the patient must be purged. Oust politically. Deng Xiaoping was purged several times throughout his lifetime. Rid of impurities. Purge the water. Rub hard or scrub. Scour the countertops. Rinse, clean, or empty with a liquid. Clean with hard rubbing. A place that is scoured, especially by running water. Examine minutely. The police scoured the country for the fugitive. To a greater degree or extent, used with comparisons. Looked sick and felt even worse. Of the score in a contest. Occurring at fixed intervals. The even rhythm of his breathing. Become even or more even. Even out the surface. Make even or more even. Symmetrically arrange. Even features. Make level or straight. The latter part of the day, the period of decreasing daylight from late afternoon until nightfall. He enjoyed the evening light across the lake. Equal in degree or extent or amount, or equally matched or balanced. Even amounts of butter and sugar. Being level or straight or regular and without variation as e.g. in shape or texture, or being in the same plane or at the same height as something else, i.e. even with. An even application of varnish. Divisible by 2. Adjust for. Become even or more even. Even out the surface. Make even or more even. Make level or straight. A specific identifiable position in a continuum or series or especially in a process. Indicator that establishes the horizontal when a bubble is centered in a tube of liquid. A flat surface at right angles to a plumb line. Park the car on the level. Direct into a position for use. Of the score in a contest. Become level or even. The ground leveled off. Tear down so as to make flat with the ground. The building was leveled. An abstract place usually conceived as having depth. A good actor communicates on several levels. A relative position or degree of value in a graded group. Having a surface without slope, tilt in which no part is higher or lower than another. Acres of level farmland. Not showing abrupt variations. Spoke in a level voice. A position on a scale of intensity or amount or quality. A high level of care is required. A structure consisting of a room or set of rooms at a single position along a vertical scale. What level is the office on? Make level or straight. Level the ground. Aim at. Level criticism or charges at somebody. Being on a precise horizontal plane. A billiard table must be level. Height above ground. The water reached ankle level. Oriented at right angles to the plumb. The picture is level. Talk frankly with. Lay it on the line. I have to level with you. A vigorous blow. He got a bang on the head. A conspicuous success. The party went with a bang. Have sexual intercourse with. Close violently. Directly. He ran bang into the pole. A border of hair that is cut short and hangs across the forehead. Strike violently. A sudden very loud noise. Leap, jerk, bang. The swift release of a store of effective force. They got a great bang out of it. Move noisily. The window banged shut. To produce a sharp, often metallic explosive or percussive sound. One of them banged the sash of the window nearest my bed. The act of delivering a blow with the foot. An instrument of torture that is used to heat or crush the foot and leg. Cuz to load, an operating system, and start the initial processes. Boot your computer. Compartment in an automobile that carries luggage or shopping or tools. The swift release of a store of effective force. What a boot! A form of foot torture in which the feet are encased in iron and slowly crushed. Footwear that covers the whole foot and lower leg. Kick. Give a boot to. Protective casing for something that resembles a leg. Criminal law. A pleading describing some wrong or offense. He was arrested on a charge of larceny. Move quickly and violently. A quantity of explosive to be set off at one time. This cartridge has a powder charge of 50 grains. The quantity of unbalanced electricity in a body, either positive or negative, and construed as an excess or deficiency of electrons. The battery needed a fresh charge. Cause to be agitated, excited, or roused. The speaker charged up the crowd with his inflammatory remarks. Psychoanalysis. The libidinal energy invested in some idea or person or object. Freud thought of cathexis as a psychic analog of an electrical charge. Demand payment. Will I get charged for this service? Direct into a position for use. He charged his weapon at me. Blame for. Make a claim of wrongdoing or misbehavior against. He charged the director with indifference. Request for payment of a debt. They submitted their charges at the end of each month. Cause to be admitted. Of persons to an institution. File a formal charge against. The suspect was charged with murdering his wife. To make a rush at or sudden attack upon, as in battle. Give over to another for care or safekeeping. Provide, a device, with something necessary. Attention and management implying responsibility for safety. A special assignment that is given to a person or group. His charge was deliver a message. Heraldry consisting of a design or image depicted on a shield. A formal statement of a command or injunction to do something. The judge's charge to the jury. Attribute responsibility to. The tragedy was charged to her inexperience. An assertion that someone is guilty of a fault or offense. The newspaper published charges that Jones was guilty of drunken driving. The swift release of a store of effective force. Impose a task upon, assign a responsibility to. He charged her with cleaning up all the files over the weekend. Assign a duty, responsibility or obligation to. She was charged with supervising the creation of a concordance. An impetuous rush toward someone or something. The wrestler's charge carried him past his adversary. A person committed to your care. The teacher led her charges across the street. Cause formation of a net electrical charge in or on. Charge a conductor. Energize a battery by passing a current through it in the direction opposite to discharge. I need to charge my car battery. Enter a certain amount as a charge. He charged me $15. Fill or load to capacity. Charge the wagon with hay. Financial liabilities, such as a tax. The charges against the estate. Instruct, a jury, about the law, its application, and the weighing of evidence. Instruct or command with authority. The teacher charged the children to memorize the poem. Lie down on command, of hunting dogs. Make an accusatory claim. The defense attorney charged that the jurors were biased. Pay with a credit card. Pay with plastic money. Postpone payment by recording a purchase as a debt. Will you pay cash or charge the purchase? Place a heraldic bearing on. Charge all weapons, shields, and banners. Saturate. The room was charged with tension and anxiety. Set or ask for a certain price. How much do you charge for lunch? The price charged for some article or service. The admission charge. The act of delivering a blow with the foot. He gave the ball a powerful kick. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. She has a lot to kick about. Stop consuming. Kick a habit. Informal terms for objecting. Spring back, as from a forceful thrust. The gun kicked back into my shoulder. The backward jerk of a gun when it is fired. A rhythmic thrusting movement of the legs as in swimming or calisthenics. The kick must be synchronized with the arm movements. The swift release of a store of effective force. He does it for kicks. Drive or propel with the foot. Kick a leg up. Make a goal. He kicked the extra point after touchdown. Strike with the foot. The boy kicked the dog. The sudden stimulation provided by strong drink, or certain drugs. A sidecar is a smooth drink but it has a powerful kick. Thrash about or strike out with the feet. A sudden forceful flow. The act of moving hurriedly and in a careless manner. Physician and American Revolutionary leader. Signer of the Declaration of Independence, 1745 to 1813. Urge to an unnatural speed. Don't rush me, please. Cause to move fast or to rush or race. Move hurriedly. He rushed down the hall to receive his guests. Not accepting reservations. American football, an attempt to advance the ball by running into the line. The linebackers were ready to stop a rush. Done under pressure. A rush job. Cause to occur rapidly. Act or move at high speed. We have to rush. The swift release of a store of effective force. He got a quick rush from injecting heroin. A sudden burst of activity. Come back after the rush. Attack suddenly. Grass-like plants growing in wet places and having cylindrical, often hollow stems. Run with the ball, in football.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.